Beautiful. All right. So go ahead and find yourself a nice, comfortable seat. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze. Feel length in your spine, feel length in your back. You can make any kind of micro movements you want here to really settle into your seat. If your back is sore, you can do a little squiggle back and forth. I'm adjusting my seat for my hip. And just really excuse me. Just really ease into it so you're in a nice, comfortable position. So all you're thinking about is your breath. Go ahead and bring all your attention in on your breath. You can focus on the sound it makes. You can focus on the way it feels entering and exiting through your nostrils. You can feel the way your chest expands and deflates with each breath. If it helps you, you can count your breaths. You can either count the speed of your breath or you can count the number of breaths you're taking. Just so that the mind is focused on breathing and not any of the other things it wants us to be focused on. While you're here, focusing on your breath, pulling all that attention onto, that simple act of breathing, all that frontal lobe energy, you can start to try and clear the back of the mind. Any thoughts come racing by, come back to your breath, back to that sound, that feeling. While you're here, mind drawn to that breath, is there any spot that's feeling a little bit more sore or stuck that you want to direct that focus to? Maybe you want to imagine the air you're inhaling going to that spot and circling it around. Maybe just thinking of that spot in your mind helps you to focus on it. Or maybe you can do what I do and imagine a cartoon brain with arrows pointing towards the spot that hurts. While you're sending that air to all those spaces, see if you can settle into your seat more. You're holding tension in your feet, your ankles or shins, your knees or thighs. You're holding tension in your hips or your low back. So just release all of those. You can imagine a lotus opening up over the spot. You can imagine your breath going there. You can just kind of scrunch down into your seat a little bit more if that helps. Continuing that focus on your breath, continuing in that comfortable seat, you can start to make a little bit of movements in your wrists, maybe nice slow rotations. Your gaze can be lowered, your eyes can be closed, but if you're more comfortable, you can always open your eyes. And then maybe a little twisting of the wrists in the opposite direction. My wrists are on my knees, but your hands can be up in the air if you'd like. And settle those wrists back down. Bring that focus back to the breath. Check back in with your body. Did moving your hands or your arms put anything out of place in your back or your hips? Make small movements to adjust. If you'd like to stretch your back from side to side. Maybe lift a shoulder to the ear and drop it down. Lift another shoulder to the ear and drop it down. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm very quiet. And then just some like micro twists. Maybe you're reaching your right shoulder towards your left knee and your left shoulder towards your right knee. This can be small movements, they can be imperceptible movements, they can be whole movements, whatever you like. Bringing our focus back to our breath. Sending that breath to our sore spots. See if you can lengthen in that spine. Tilt your chin forward and see if you can find space in the back of the neck. Check in with those ribs. If they're sticking out, pop them back in. Your hands can be at your knees or wherever's comfortable. Pay attention to how it feels to bring your chin forward. Can you feel it in your back of your neck? Can you feel it between your shoulder blades? We're going to take that chin straight up as far as you can, as far as is comfortable. Can you feel that in your spine, maybe between your shoulder blades? Maybe not. Maybe you're a perfectly functioning human being. And then we're going to gently bring the chin neutral. And then we'll drop one ear to a shoulder. Not reaching it, or not like touching it, but just reaching it in the other, in the same direction. You can take your hand and hold down the opposite shoulder to find a little space in the side of the neck. Very small movements. Maybe bring your head forward and backward 1 millimeter just to stretch out the side of the neck there. When you're done with that, you can relax your hand, bring that chin back to the center, and we'll drop it to the other side. Again, your opposite or your same shoulder can come to your opposite, same hand as ear to shoulder, and bring on your opposite shoulder to give yourself some space. And remove your hand. You can bring your chin back to neutral. And next, we'll just make small circles with the chin in the air. Again, you can keep your eyes closed here. Your gaze can be low, or you can open your eyes, whatever's more comfortable. And then circles in the opposite direction. When you're ready, you can come to a nice neutral chin here, and we'll just walk our fingertips out and kind of ooze down in front of you, whatever's comfortable. You can round in the back here. You can drop your head down. Just feeling some space in this back. You can gently rock from side to side here if you'd like. You can always walk the fingertips back and forth, maybe bringing the elbows as far out as your knees. And then when you're ready, just drop yourself down even lower. Maybe try to go side to side, all the way down. Take a nice slow ooze back up to your seat. And bringing your attention back to your breath. Checking back in with that body, making sure you're sat very comfortably, spaces in your spine. You're sending that breath to any sore, stuck spots. From here, you can gently open your eyes, or you can keep them closed, whatever you're more comfortable with. We're going to take the left hand on the right knee, keeping your your knees crossed if you'd like, and just do a gentle twist to the back of the room. Check in with your spine here. I have a tendency to lean back to give myself a little bit more of a twist. Keep your spine nice and rooted with those sit bones and twist from the middle. Nice big inhale for a nice long spine, and exhale to twist to the back. You can imagine your midsection is like a towel getting wrung out. And we'll slowly walk our arms to the other side for a nice gentle counter twist. Bring back to center, we'll take that left hand on the right knee and twist to the back of the room. Again, nice rooted spine, lifting from the center of the head. Inhaling, nice long spine, exhaling to twist to the back. Nice big inhale to return to center, and exhale to counter twist to the other side. All right. We're going to do some shoulder rolls. So you can shrug those shoulders up to your ears and drop them down. Nice big rolls. You can include your hands in them if you want. Nice big chicken wings. We're making a big, oh, that feels nice. And then come back the other way as well. We'll continue to open up those shoulder blades by taking a nice big T with the arms. Cross one arm over top the other. Reach your fingertips back for your shoulder blades if that's available to you. From here, take a nice deep breath. Check in with those ribs, make sure they're not popping out. Pull the ear or the shoulders down away from the ears. On your next inhale, make a big T with the arms again and come back to cross the opposite arm on top. Again, you can walk your fingertips towards your spine if that's available to you. Relaxing those shoulders away from the ears. You might feel it down here. Release your arms into a big T. We're going to bring them overhead. This time we'll come forward again. Leave your hands and fold forward about halfway. Keep that spine nice and long. Nice deep breaths here. Imagine you're tucking your pelvis to elongate that spine. Find some space in those lower vertebrae. And drop your chin forward here if you'd like. Bring that chin back to neutral. We'll come back to our seat. What did we do? Didn't do any bending, did we? And we didn't do any arms. Okay. So we'll do our cartoon cactus arms, my most favorite. Make fists, and we'll do our robot bicep curls. Why not? Every time you come to a 90-degree angle with your arms, go ahead and flex your biceps. See, I don't know if you can tell how comically not straight my arms are, but maybe work on making your shoulder and elbow come into a line. And when you've had enough of that, let's do a nice big cartoon cactus with our fingers nice and wide, pulling those shoulder blades in nice and tight together. From here, we'll go spreading them out, spreading your shoulder. Oh, let's go to the front. Bring your hands to the front, spread those shoulder blades out. And release your arms down. And give your shoulders a little shake out and give your hips a little shake out, and we'll come to our tabletop at the center of the mat. We'll get ready for some cat-cows. Top of the foot should be glued to your mat along with your knee. If your shin hits the mat, you can grip it with that as well. You can test from here, like you could let go with your hands. You should be able, see how my foot immediately popped off the mat? Don't do that. Grip the mat with your feet so that if you lift it off your hands, your feet would stay there. Come into a nice neutral spine here. We're just going to do gentle cat-cows, dropping that udder down, shining that chest forward for cow pose, rounding in the back, curling those toes under if you'd like, even coming up onto the pads of your fingertips. To exhale. Inhale, a nice round back, dropping the udder down, shining that chest forward. That was the dog. I thought that's my dog eats frisbees. Rounding in the back on your exhale, tucking those toes under if you'd like. Checking in with those shoulder blades. Can you feel space in between your shoulder blades when you're in your cat pose? Keeping that space in between, can you feel it in cow without collapsing those shoulders in on each other? And keep them nice and spaced out. Just doing a couple of rounds of cat-cow on your own, linking that movement to the breath, waking up the spine, waking up the low belly. You've had a few of those, you can start putting S and C curves in your spine. Ow. If you go all the way one way, you might hurt yourself. Other variations you can do in cat and cow are my favorite, where you go into like a mini chaturanga, or you can always do kind of like if you were dancing with your arms. I'll have to explain this. Put your arms out front and dancing like this. Try that, but in cat. You can always go back into a child's pose for a gentle rest. Maybe you want to shake out through your hips in child pose. Whatever variations you feel like doing to warm up your body. If you'd like, you could take each of your legs back one at a time, getting into that plank pose almost. When you're ready, we'll come back to a neutral spine. Just going to tuck the toes under and do a gentle walk back with our fingertips, stretching those toes. Maybe your outer toe, your pinky toe isn't quite in the mix because it's a little short. You can always put that under. And if this is too intense for you, you can always walk your fingers down a little bit. You'll still get a nice toe stretch. And then we'll put the feet flat on the mat again, and we'll just lift the knees off the mat. And then when you're done with that, you can do some ankle twists. Move those big toes around. Shake it out through the hips. From here, we'll do a couple of balancing poses. Let's start simply by taking the left arm and reaching it out in front of you. Check in with that neck. Make sure you have a nice long spine, a nice neutral spine. Gazing down at the mat, we'll lift the opposite leg into the air. Adjust your balance so you have equal balance on your hand and knee. And on your next exhale, we'll bring that elbow to knee in the center of the body. Inhale nice and long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale nice and long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Check in with the top of that foot. Exhale nice and long. And come elbow to knee. And place your hands and put back down on the mat. There's the opposite hand in the air. If it feels nice to you, the hand you were just resting your weight on, please work through that wrist, back and forth. Reach that arm out in front of you. Gaze is at the mat, nice long spine. We're gonna take the opposite leg back behind you. Feel nice and balanced. Unlike me. On your exhale, we'll bring that knee to the elbow in the middle. Inhale long. Exhale, come together. Inhale long. Exhale, come together. Inhale nice and long. We'll bring the hand back to the mat. Come back to your ankles. Give both those wrists a beautiful, happy workout. If for some reason you're like me and you're actually really sore in the wrist for some reason, you can always switch to fists. You can do any of your poses with the top of your hands on your mat for a little bit more support. All right. Hello. From here with our neutral spine, we're going to tuck those toes under and lift the knees off the mat for a beautiful downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in here and a nice deep breath out. From here, you can pedal out through the feet. Do slowly or quickly. You can spend some time on one ankle or the other, really stretching out those calves and trying to pull the ankles, trying to pull the heels towards the mat. When you had enough of that, we'll inhale those heels nice and high into the air. And then exhale, reach them back down to the mat. Breathing here. See if you can nod your head yes. You can shake your head no. Move your head I don't know. Reaching those sit bones towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, we're going to roll forward to plank pose. You can adjust your stance in plank. You can always bring your feet a little wider. That gives you a little bit more support. Gonna breathe here. Tucking that tailbone under, pulling those abdominals in. Take a nice deep inhale here. And on your next exhale, we'll press back to downward facing dog. Again, you can pedal out through your feet in down dog. Go back to the shoulder blades. How are they feeling in down dog? Are you collapsed? Are they collapsed in together? Right. It's hard to keep the shoulder space between the shoulder blades. Obviously, they're very close, but can you get some paper through there or a pen? We're gonna roll forward to plank one more time. Inhaling a nice deep gulp of air here. And then exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet and down dog. Back to downward facing dog, and you come into a nice neutral stance. We're going to recreate, bringing that knee towards the center of our body in our cat cow. So instead of kicking that leg up right away, we're going to bring that knee forward. And actually, just to practice that, we're going to roll forward and into plank with that knee forward. And then exhale, press your leg up into the air for a three-legged dog. Breathing here, checking in with that left heel, holding it down toward the mat. From here, you can open your hips, keeping that leg nice and long. We'll come back down to square hips. Bend that knee. Oops, sorry. Bend the knee to the side. And we'll go from our downward facing dog forward, knee to elbow, and then back to our three-legged dog. Placing that foot back down on the mat. Getting into a nice, comfortable downward facing dog. Lift the knee of that left leg. Roll forward into plank position, bringing that knee forward. Exhale, press back to a three-legged dog. From here, you can open up the hips. Keep that back leg nice and long. Check in with that back heel. Pulling it down towards the mat on the right leg. Square your hips again. We'll bend the knee. We'll bring it to the outside of the arm, knee to elbow. Pressing back the three-legged dog. And coming back to down dog. I need a water break. Excuse me one moment. My wrists are like, what are you doing to me? It's been so long. All right. Standing in downward facing dog, we're gonna gently step forward. So we're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, make sure your feet are at least hips width distance apart by measuring 2 fist width distance between them. Mine are about another inch apart. Focusing in on the bottoms of the feet. We're going to lift the arches. We're going to take all 4 corners of the feet and we're going to lift in through the arches. So we're not falling in and our feet aren't collapsing beneath us. We're going to lift up in those arches. Your legs can be bent as much or as little as you'd like. But the top half of your body should collapse down. And both sides of the body should feel like they're reaching in opposite directions, but both right towards the ground. Thank you, Clementine. Placing one hand on each shin, Bring your spine up to a nice flat back. Breathe a few breaths here. Finding elongation in the spine. Then from here, as you fold forward, ooze down into the ground. You can fold forward a little deeper, or maybe your knees are a little less bent. From here, we're going to come back to our flat back. Take our right hand and place it in between the feet, and the left arm twisted behind you. Your right knee should be bent and your left leg long. And just reach and stretch and see if you can get any of this nice, long, languid standing twist. On your next exhale, you can switch the placement of the hands, switching the bent and straight leg, and reach the opposite hand into the air. That's a nice elephant you got there, Clementine. Yeah. Okay. On your next exhale, we'll go ahead and place both hands back to the mat. And on your inhale, we'll gently roll up to stand. Checking in with the bottoms of the feet again, not falling into those arches, not collapsing down into the feet. Knees are pressing out, away from the body, and your tailbone is neutral, possibly under a little bit. From here, I want you to take a deep breath and exhale it out through your mouth, fluttering through the lips. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale through your mouth. Exhale, flutter out through the lips. One more. All right. I'm going to start with loosening up the arms. So I'm going to actually get on my knees just so you can see me. But we're just going to take and make big windmills with the arms. Just crossing at the chest. Then we'll go opposite direction. Each arm doing a big, beautiful wave. And then when you've had enough of that, we'll just stretch them nice out real high into the air. And then we'll do bring them down, stretch them nice down to the ground. And just swing them back. I was just gonna make a big circle, but that's not possible with joints. That's not the way joints work. You can concentrate on one at a time, and you can do nice big swings to the side. And shake those shoulders out. So we'll come back to, I'll go back to standing. And standing in a nice, strong mountain pose, not collapsing in on the feet. We're gonna start with the hips, tilting and tucking the pelvis. Leaving the glutes loose as you tuck and tilt the pelvis. My natural instinct is to clench all in the pelvis, all in the glutes, that is. And after a few tucks and tilts, can you do side to side? You can bend the knees for this, maybe a slight little bend in the knee if you'd like. If you just want to keep the knees straight and shift the hips, you certainly can do that. And then we'll go slow motion, tilt forward, go to the left. I'm sorry, tuck forward, go to the left, tilt back, go to the right, tuck forward, left, back, right. Until you're making like a square. And then take that square and round it out. Like you're getting frosting out of a bowl. When you feel nice and loose in your hips, we'll do it again the opposite way. Tuck forward to the right, tilt back and to the left. Nice square diamond shape, making in your hips. And then begin to round it out. And when you feel nice and loose in the hips, you can come to a nice neutral pelvis. From here, again, not falling into those bottom of those feet. We're gonna lift the arms into the air. Exhale to fold forward, bring your hands to the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. From here, you can lower your knees, chest, and chin, or do your chaturanga, whatever you prefer. Coming up to your upward facing dog or low cobra, and pressing back to down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward. And inhaling to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale the arms into the air, Urdhva. Exhale to fold forward, Utkatasana. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back for plank pose. Lower your knees, chest, and chin. Do your chaturanga, coming into an upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhaling to press back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step to the front of the mat so that you're in a forward fold. Bring your hands to your shins or a nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward and inhaling to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale your arms above your head. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands and step back to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin. Come into your baby cobra, upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, we'll bring the hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward and inhaling to gently roll up to stand. All right, 2 more like that. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. All 4 corners of the feet lifting up. Inhale your arms into the air. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. From here, go into your chaturanga, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Come up to a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. Exhale, step or hop forwards. You're gonna forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, we'll place hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward and inhale to gently roll up to stand. All right, standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Lift your arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, step back, plank pose. Good girl, go ahead and down. Go ahead and go into your chaturanga, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for low cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale to press back to down dog. Take a deep breath in downward facing dog. And on your exhale, you can hop or step. So you are in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Bring your hands to your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. All right, beautiful. Continuing to stand at the front of the mat. Perhaps an animal is killing a stuffed animal behind you. Standing in mountain pose. Feet are hips width distance or further apart, whatever you're most comfortable with. Take a deep breath here. Flutter out through the lips. We are going to go into chair pose. You have the option of heel toeing the feet together here if that is something you are more comfortable with. So feet together or hips width distance apart, whatever you're most comfortable with. We'll lift the hands in the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Then we'll bend the knees, lower the bum, and bring the hands forward for chair pose. Again, we want to cow pose in the top of the back and a cat pose in that low back. Pretend like you're sitting on a chair. On your next exhale, you can fold forward. Plant your hands and step back to downward facing dog. From here, we'll roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Press back to down dog. On your next inhale, you lift the right leg into the air. Again, instead of sweeping back, let's bring that knee forward and then press it back into the air. Check in with that left heel, bring it back down to the mat. And on your next exhale, we're going to bend the knee and swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. So you're in a nice, sturdy, low lunge. Make sure you're in a nice, sturdy, low lunge. This front leg is going to be at a 90-degree angle. You can adjust that back foot any way you want. You're going to rotate that heel down. Press into the feet to lift the torso off. Up. The outer edge of that back foot is glued to the mat. Hips are squared to the front of the room. We're going to inhale the arms up for warrior one. Exhale to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. On your next exhale, we'll roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to press back to down dog. Lifting that left leg into the air. Nope. Instead of sweeping that leg like we normally, or like I normally have to do, we're gonna bend that knee, bring it forward, and then push it back into the air. Make sure those hips are square to the mat. Check in with that right heel, bring it down a little lower. We'll bend that knee and we'll swing it forward. Help it if you need to. We'll come into our nice sturdy low lunge. We'll rotate that back heel down. Hips are still square to the front of the mat. We're going to lift your arms in the air for warrior one. Again, the outer edge of that back foot is glued to the mat. Hips are square towards the front of the mat. Exhaling down to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank. Lowering knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to go back to down dog. Three breaths in downward facing dog or child's pose, whatever you find more relaxing. Okay. When you're ready, we'll hop or step. So you're gonna forward fold with the front of the mat. And on your next inhale, we'll gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Feet can be hips width distance or together, whichever you prefer. From here, lift the arms into the air, lower the bum and knees. You're in a chair pose. We're going to bring the hands to heart center. We'll take the right elbow on the outside of the left knee, come into a chair pose twist. From here, we'll come back to this chair pose, come back to center, and then twist to the other side. And when you're at enough of that, you can drop your hands to the center. We'll place them in. Place your hands and come down to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back into down dog. Inhaling that right leg in the air. Let's bring that knee forward and press the foot back in space. You can even keep that foot flexed if you want to feel like it's a really strong movement. From here, we'll bend that knee again and bring it in between our hands. Help it if you need to. We'll rotate that back, heel down. We'll come into warrior one. From here, we're going to drop the arms down behind you, interlace your thumbs back behind your back, and we're going to come down to a humble warrior. On your next inhale, we'll lift the hands in the air again for warrior one. Exhale to frame that front foot. Kick that foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra and upward facing dog. Exhaling, pressing back to down dog. Bringing that left knee forward, flexing that foot and pressing it back into space. On your exhale, we're going to bend that knee again and bring it forward. Help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down for your nice sturdy low lunge. We're going to bring our arms, push into the legs to bring our torso into the air and lift the arms up high. From here, we're going to bring our hands behind us, lace our fingers, weird thumb on top this time, and bring that shoulder down to the knee for humble warrior. On your next inhale, we'll lift back into warrior one. Exhale to frame that front foot. Get that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank. Lowering your knees, chest, chin to the mat. Inhaling to a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling back into down dog. 3 breaths in down dog or child's pose, whichever you prefer. All right, on your next exhale, you can hop or step. So you're going to forward fold at the front of the mat. And when you're ready, we'll slowly roll up to a mountain pose. All right, standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. You're going to inhale the arms into the air. Exhale, fold. Nope. We're going to come into a gentle chair pose and then fold right down. Planting your hands, step back to downward facing dog, then plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin. And go through your vinyasa. Lift your, I'm sorry, I've lost my voice. Lifting into upward facing dog and pressing back to down dog. Breathing in down dog, we're going to bring that knee forward and push that leg back in space. Bringing that knee forward again, we're going to bring it to in between our hands. From here, we're going to lower down that ankle. Make any adjustments you need to get a really strong base here. And we'll come up into warrior one. Exhaling down, reverse your warrior. Inhaling up and then out for warrior two. Breathing here, hips are square towards the side of the mat. Front knee is bent. Arms outstretched in either direction. Go ahead and give that knee a rest. Your arms are still out in either direction. You can lean forward and then come down for triangle pose. And you're going to bend the front knee. Bring that arm, bring the forearm to the thigh. And come into side angle pose. On your next exhale, we'll bring that front foot, kick the front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. From here, we'll roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back to a down dog. From here, we'll bend that left knee, bring that knee forward, and then push it back. Bend that knee again and bring it in between hands. Bonk. Hello, record. Go ahead and rotate that back heel down. We'll come to a nice, sturdy, low lunge. From here, we'll lift the arms into the air for warrior one. Exhale for humble warrior, weird thumb on top this time. Inhaling up for warrior one. And exhaling out for warrior two. Give that knee a rest. Bring that arm out in front of you and down for triangle pose. And when you're ready, we'll bend that knee, bring the forearm to the thigh, and come into side angle pose. On your next exhale, we'll frame that front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And then pressing back to down dog. Take 3 deep breaths here, or in child's pose. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to your forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, gently roll up to stand. All right, standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Let's lift the hands into the air. On your exhale, let's move through a chair pose and all the way down to the ground for a forward fold. Placing your hands, stepping back for plank pose, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale and press back to down dog. On your next inhale, we'll bring that right knee forward and press it back in space. Bend that knee and bring it forward in between your hands. Help it if you need to. From here, we'll rotate that back heel down. Hiccups. We're going to inhale into warrior one. Exhale into humble warrior. Inhale up to warrior two. Exhale back to reverse your warrior. Inhale, straighten that knee, and then exhale down and forward for triangle pose. Inhale up for warrior two, and exhale down for side angle pose. On your next exhale, you can frame that front foot, kick that foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Inhale to roll forward to plank, exhale over your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and exhaling back to down dog. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift that foot forward and press it back into the air. Bending that knee again and bringing it forward. In between your hands. We're gonna rotate that back heel down. From here, we're going to press into the ground and lift the torso into the sky, lifting the arms in the air for warrior one. Exhale, weird thumb on top, humble warrior. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. Exhale, arms out, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, forward and down for triangle pose. Inhale for warrior two, and exhale for side angle. From here, you can rotate your hands down to frame that front foot. Take that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, we'll gently roll up to a standing pose. All right, deep breath. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, let's lift the arms into the air. Exhale into your chair pose. Nice deep breath here. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Pressing back to down dog. From here, we'll lift the right leg in forward, bring that knee forward and press that leg back. Then we'll bend the knee and bring it forward again. Help it if you need to. From here, we'll rotate that back heel down, come into a warrior one. Down to a humble warrior. Up to a warrior two. Oh no, up to a warrior one, out to a warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Warrior two, triangle pose. Warrior two, side angle pose. You can rotate your hands down. Wheel your hands down to frame that front foot. Pick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. From here, roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale and press back to down dog. Bring that left knee forward and pressing that foot back. We're going to bend the knee again, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down. Inhale to lift the torso up in the air. Arms in the air for warrior one. Weird thumb on top for humble warrior. Arms in the air for warrior one. Out for warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Warrior two. Into triangle. Triangle. Into warrior two. Warrior two. Into side angle pose. On your next exhale, you can rotate your hands to frame that front foot. We'll kick that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. You can go through your vinyasa, rolling forward to plank, dropping knees, chest and chin, and ending up in downward facing dog. In down dog, we'll lift that right knee towards the front again and press it back. We'll bend it again, but this time we'll swing that shin forward and set yourself up for pigeon pose. And when you're ready, you can ease on down. Next inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest up. Move any props you may have. You can roll onto your bum. You bring your little windshield wiper back and forth. Come into tabletop pose. You're such a good girl. And we'll press into our down dog. Lift that left knee up, and then press it back into the sky. Bring that knee forward and come into pigeon on the other side. Your next inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest. Roll onto your butt, and we're just gonna roll right onto our backs. When you're ready, you can hug your knees into your chest. You can do a little rock back and forth. When you're ready, we're gonna drop the knees to the mat and do a nice little windshield wiper back and forth. All right, we're gonna start by bringing this right knee in nice and tight to the chest. And let's lift this left knee in the air at like a 90-degree angle. And then let's bring this leg up to a straight leg, and then point your toe and bring it to a 45-degree angle. While you have this knee close to your chest, find a nice comfortable spot for it. Maybe bring it out to the left a little, the right a little, and make a little stretch on it. Make it a stretch with it. But hold it in nice and tight. You don't want anything pulling or uncomfortable down here. And then from here, we're just going to exhale and switch the legs. Inhale, holding that leg nice and tight. Make sure it's comfortable again. Exhale, switch the legs. Inhale, holding it nice and tight. Exhaling to switch. Exhaling to switch. And then you can speed it up a little bit if you'd like. And let go of that knee and let your legs do bicycles if you'd like. And when you're done with that, bring those knees in the chest nice and tight. We're gonna drop the feet back to the mat. Elongate the legs as much as you can. I don't have the space for this, so if you don't have the space, make smaller circles. But if you do have the space, by all means, make nice big circles with the legs. We're gonna come all the way out to the side, kind of bring it up at a 90-degree angle, and then cross our body, and then bring it back up along the side, cross the body, sweep down. Let's do at least 5 with each leg sweeping down. When you're ready to switch legs, you can go ahead and do that. I don't have the space, but make sure you're sweeping out to the side, crossing down the body, sweeping out to the side, crossing down the body, sweeping out to the side, crossing down the body. And then you can go ahead and reverse, cross the body, come out to big side, cross the body, come out, swing to the other side. We didn't do both sides on the other leg yet, just so you know. To the side, I'll do one more. Well, hello, little doggies. And then we'll do the opposite side, opposite way on this leg. So we're gonna start high by crossing the body, coming up and then down, crossing the body, coming up and then down. Crossing the body, coming up and then down. Crossing the body, up and then down. Give your knees a little shake out. Honey, I know I'm laying down, but you got like 15 more minutes, okay? Give your knees a little shake out, and we're gonna come onto the side, come onto one hip. You can come onto your shoulder if you'd like. You can always, hi. I know you have to stop this. Hello, I love you. Go away. We're gonna do a nice little 15 degrees. So if your legs are straight, I want you to bring your legs about 30 degrees up, so you're at like an angle here. Hover the legs, press down in the hips, hover the legs, and just do giant scissors. Yeah, I have room. Giant scissors kicking in the air. And you can let those legs rest. So go ahead and flip onto the other side. Again, we'll do that nice 30-degree angle in the legs. Lift the feet off the ground, anchor those hips, and make big scissor motions with your legs. And when that's done, you can come back onto your back. Give your legs a windshield wiper back and forth. On your next inhale, we'll hug those knees into the chest. We're going to drop them down. Reach so your fingernails are just about grazing your heels, and we'll come into. Hi, you're such a good boy. I'm so sorry. We'll lift the hips into the air. You can have the option to wiggle your shoulder blades under you if you'd like, and release your fingers back behind you. And just take 3 to 5 good breaths here. And you'll exhale your back down. You can windshield wiper those knees back and forth a few more times. This time we'll hug those knees into the chest. When you're ready, we'll drop them to one side and come into a nice gentle twist. Your arms can be straight out in front of you, or straight out to the sides. That can be two cactus arms. Your gaze can be at the ceiling or over your opposite shoulder, although that can be quite intense. Inhaling up and exhale. Oh, wait. What else we have? Next inhale, come back to center. You can always exhale with legs back down to the other side. Next inhale, you bring your legs back to center. You can reach for the insoles of your feet. You can rock back and forth and happy baby. When you're ready, you can go ahead and let go of all your poses and sink down into Shavasana. And begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. Make small movements with your fingers and toes. When you're ready, you can roll onto one side using your arm as a pillow and take a breath in the fetal position. Using that same slow quality of movement, you can come up to a comfortable seating. You're going to bring your hands to heart center and close with one Om. Inhaling for Om. Om. Namaste. Thank